Viewer discretion is advised.
The NFL really rolled the dice with selecting MetLife as the site of Super Bowl 48, considering this would be the first non-dome stadium in a cold weather city to host the big game. Despite all the concerns and criticism, the game time temp was in the mid-40s and there was no rain, something that has happened in other Super Bowls. What was a disaster was the game itself, though. Yeesh. It is unknown whether the NFL will roll the dice again on a similar type situation. I've always wondered whether the name Giants was for men the size of, say, Andre, or for legendary giants that live at the top of a magic beanstalk, but now I have the answer, as the giants we are talking about are legless torsos in the middle of a stadium with a hoof for an off-throwing hand. One last thing I have to ask now. MetLife had the chance to become one of the super modern NFL stadiums, but it really is just an upgraded version of the Meadowlands, with both teams still not proud enough to say they play in New Jersey, even though it's been that way for 40 years. Some big negatives are that the vast area it's in is basically a giant parking lot. Getting back to the city through the Lincoln Tunnel after the game is a nightmare, and the Giants and Jets play here. Ray Hanley took a team coming off a Super Bowl victory in 1990 and turned them into giant losers. His first decision? Benching Phil Simms for Jeff Hostetler. And despite having Lawrence Taylor, Pepper Johnson, and Leonard Marshall, the best he could do was 8-8. Simms retired, the G-Men went 6-10, Hanley was fired and then disappeared into the desert. Literally. In week 1 of the 1995 season, the rival Cowboys marched into the Meadowlands and left a 35-point shutout against the hated New York Giants. Emmitt Smith scored 4 touchdowns, and now it seems like a tradition for the Giants to suck ass in their openers. Oh boy, the New York Giants stumbling into another clown show of a season. Joe Judge was so fucking stupid, he challenged a scoring play, then said people wanted to come play for him so that they could run back-to-back sneaks. Surprised that last one didn't come on 4th down. Daniel Jones is so not the guy. They didn't pick up his option, and they are carting him out there this year because they ironically don't have any options. I'm surprised they didn't fumble that situation. Saquon is leaving, having had his career wasted in New York. Thank God Evan Ingram is gone, but we'll make up for it with Darius Slayton. And now, to anger every Giants fan on earth, I only have to say one name. Dave fucking Gettleman. And Kenny Golladay.
New York Giants. I want to thank the Giants for helping my Eagles win 2 games most years for the last decade or so. Daniel Jones is terrible and just fumbled again. Saquon Barkley is the equivalent of having a beautiful HD TV in a burning house. Your coach Joe Judge is a wannabe Belichick disciple who gets off on telling grown men to run sprints. Your team is so fraudulent they don't even play in the city their team name says they do. The best player in your team's history is Lawrence Taylor, a massive drug addict, registered sex offender, and deadbeat father. What a fucking loser. Imagine being a grown man wearing his jersey to a game. Disgusting. Memorabilia fraud Eli Manning was a painfully average quarterback and interception machine whose entire legacy is due to his defense having 2 dominant stretches in January 2008 and January 2012. The fact that he's even mentioned as a potential Hall of Famer is an embarrassment. He didn't break 20 points offensively in either Super Bowl win. He never won a playoff game where his opponent scored over 20 points, and he didn't win a playoff game outside of his 2 Super Bowl years. Simply put, you have no real direction. And despite your team's reputation as a blue blood franchise, you haven't been a consistently great team since the Parcells-Belichick era over 30 years ago. 3 teams, the Packers, Giants, and Jets, don't have a mascot because they're all a bunch of no-fun poopy heads. The New York Giants, Eli Manning. The choice for best Giants quarterback basically came down to Manning and Phil Simms, but in the end, I went with Eli for his unmatched longevity and, of course, his 2 Super Bowl wins and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. That's really the story with Eli. He was never an elite quarterback at any point of his 16-year career. He had 2 magical playoff runs in 2007 and 2011, but went 0-4 in the playoffs in his other 4 appearances. He led the league in interceptions 3 times, but he also made 4 Pro Bowls and threw for over 57,000 yards and 366 touchdowns. It's fitting his final career win-loss record was 117-117, since that's really what he was, average. But helping to stop Brady from winning 2 more rings is much appreciated. Thank New York Giants, Joe Pisarcik. Pisarcik lives on in NFL lore for his infamous gaffe late in a 1978 game versus Philadelphia that's now known as the Miracle in the Meadowlands. But hey, did you also know Pisarcik also just sucked in general? He somehow started 27 games for the Giants across 3 seasons and racked up 18 touchdowns to 43 interceptions for a comical 46.3 rating. The biggest surprise is that he somehow won 8 games there. Whoever lost to him should be ashamed. New York Giants 2008 divisional round. In 2008, the Giants went 12-4, fresh off of a legendary Super Bowl win, and looked poised to repeat as champs until Plexico Burress cheddar bobbed himself late in the season. Nevertheless, New York earned the 1 seed in the NFC and had to take on hated rival Philadelphia in the divisional round. Like most things Eli Manning, he was either really good or really bad in the playoffs. And unfortunately for New York, on this day, he was really bad. The Giants were 4-point favorites, but they committed 3 turnovers and missed 2 makeable field goals in an embarrassing 23-11 home loss. On behalf of Eagles fans everywhere, thank you, New York Giants, Saquon Barkley. Barkley was a controversial pick from the very beginning, and although he had a stellar rookie year in 2018, it's been all downhill since then. He's been injury prone the last 3 years, and even when he's been on the field, he's been just okay at best. It's sad to see how far he's fallen. New York Giants, Eli Manning. One of those aforementioned sex sessions Archie had ended up producing this guy. As I alluded to earlier with Jim Plunkett, Eli was a decidedly average quarterback in every sense outside of 2 playoff runs in 2007 and 2011. He was durable and played forever, which helped him rack up lots of counting stats, but this guy is not a Hall of Fame worthy quarterback. Stop it. Look, I'm thankful he beat Brady 2 times in the Super Bowl, but let's not lie here. He was an average quarterback with great luck and the right last name. Giants, Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is a good, solid pro, but the fact that he's the Giants' best player speaks to how bad this team is. He had 81 tackles and 6.5 sacks in 2021, a year after recording 11.5 sacks. He can play, but the Giants obviously need their newest draft picks to hit, or else the team will continue to be a laughingstock. Let's pray that happens. New York Giants, Daniel Jones. Jones sucks. Everybody knows it. Even Giants fans have moved on, and the only people who still think he can be good are probably his mom and grandma. After this year, I doubt he'll be a consistent starter in the league ever again. Verdict, properly rated.
The New York Football Giants, stumbling into another clown show of a season. Daniel Jones is so not the guy. They didn't pick up his option, and they are carting him out there this year because they ironically don't have any options. Surprised they didn't fumble that situation. Apparently he is book smart, but his IQ drops to single digits when faced with any pressure. He's like a pile of matching trash cans outside the owner's box. Let's list off the previous head coaches before Daboll. Ben McAdoo, Pat Shurmur, and Joe Judge? What fucking moron decided these guys could coach? The only thing worse than Joe Judge calling sneaks on 3rd down was his GM, Dave Fucktard Gettleman. I don't even have time to list out all his failures. Saquon is leaving, having had his career wasted in New York. Well, when he was healthy. Thank God Evan Ingram is gone, but we'll make up for it with more Darius Slayton.
Not, and I, like you, am confused on many levels. First of all, you've been the head coach for 2 years. Your team has won 2 games by double digits. You've lost 14 games by double digits. You should not be talking Timmy Toughnut style. You've scored 1 touchdown in the last 35 drives.
This is the definition of a cursed image. Since it was taken, the Giants have had the worst record in the NFL. 5 years of slow, agonizing death. 4 different head coaches. Missed free agent signings. Absolute whiffs on draft picks. The New York Giants once stood atop of the mountain, looked at as one of the iconic NFL franchises. Now, they can't even get out of their own way. Why are the New York Giants so bad is coming up, finding rock bottom. You may think that running a sneak on a 3rd and 9 on your own 2-yard line is the singular rock bottom moment for the Giants' recent but prolonged failures. However, it's much more complex than that. Bruh. Yes, we can list incident after incident, reaching on Daniel Jones with the 6th overall pick. Him tripping on the way to the end zone. Hiring Pat Shurmur as your head coach. Hiring Ben McAdoo as your head coach. Hiring Joe Judge. as your head coach. Losing a game on an offsides penalty that allowed a re-kick. Yeah, that one hurt. Jason Pierre-Paul blowing off his fucking hand. Free medium sodas. But none of those moments pale in comparison to the absolute mishandling of Eli Manning being benched for Geno Smith. Yes, 5 years ago, two-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning was benched for Geno Smith. The same Eli Manning who just the year before led the Giants to an 11-5 record. The same Manning who was healthy and had a streak of 210 consecutive NFL starts. The same Manning who was not Geno Smith. Yes, Manning's late career decline was precipitous. However, this debacle enacted by both Ben McAdoo and Jerry Reese marks rock bottom for the New York Giants. Not for when it happened, but for all the bad decisions it brought with it. At the time, the move didn't make sense. The Giants were 2-9. The plan was to get Geno Smith some reps, and then to get a look at third-round pick Davis Webb. The shitstorm that ensued was swift and unrelenting. Smith actually looked decent against the Raiders, but afterwards the Giants caved to public pressure about the mishandling of the situation.
Say that. I'm sorry, they did my boy Eli dirty. I don't think it was right. Oh yeah, he deserved better than that.
Manning was put back into the lineup, and Davis Webb actually never took a snap for the Giants. And instead of being a redemption arc for Manning, well, it was pretty bad. We'll get deeper, but Eli's benching was the moment that set off a chain of events that the Giants are still paying for and led to where they are today. So, how did we get here? When the confetti finally settled at Super Bowl 46, Eli Manning and the New York Giants were on top of the world, having won their fourth Lombardi and their second Super Bowl in a 5-year span, both wins coming against the Patriots. The Giants were looked at as a model of consistency and excellence. The accolades came in. Eli Manning was looked at as an elite QB. Don't believe me? He was even given a 96 overall rating in Madden. And a huge contract. 6 years, $97 million. Doesn't sound absurd for the time, and it wasn't. No, it was the second Eli contract that did this team damage. Signed in 2015, Eli received 4 years, $84 million, a bonus of $32 million, and an average salary of $21 million. The last contract signaled one thing. The Giants believed they could squeeze one more championship out of Eli's arm. They were dead wrong. We need to back up for just a little bit. For the Giants, following Super Bowl 46 were some rough years. 9-7, 7-9, 6-10, and 6-10. John Mara grew impatient with Tom Coughlin, which is kind of ironic, and fired him / he resigned, bringing in Ben McAdoo, who was already the team's OC. McAdoo actually righted the ship in his first year. The Giants made the playoffs right when this picture was taken. Let's explain it. The Giants had a very good team in 2016. They beat the Cowboys twice. They had 11 wins. They had another playoff matchup with the Packers in Lambeau, something historically good for them. They had a stout pass defense. And they had a day off. So they headed to Miami, rented a boat, and snapped this picture. Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, Victor Cruz. They hung with Justin Bieber, partied with Trey Songz, and they got back on time. This is the kind of thing that if you win, it's dismissed as allowing your team to blow off steam. But if you lose, like Tony Romo frolicking with Jason Witten in Cabo, it's immortalized as failure ammunition. Especially when, unbeknownst at the time, it kicks off the worst time period in your franchise. Of course, the Giants lost to the Packers, and they didn't just lose, they got smoked. The next year, they finished 3-13. McAdoo was fired, Manning was benched, Jerry Reese was fired, Steve Spagnuolo inexplicably left. Giants fans found out that winning doesn't last forever, and it was time to rebuild. They trusted that John Mara knew what he was doing. Now it was the fans' turn to be wrong. The hiring of Dave Gettleman. With the departure of Jerry Reese, John Mara did what he had done in the past. He looked to someone who was part of the family to get things done. Former Giant scout and director of player personnel Dave Gettleman was brought in to correct things. On the surface, the hire didn't seem awful. He was with the team for 12 years prior, winning 3 Super Bowls as part of the executive staff. As a GM, he led the Panthers to a Super Bowl. It was time to come home. But like a college kid on winter break, he quickly wore out his welcome. When it comes to Gettleman's trades, you can understand why he made them. Eli Manning's cap hit played a factor, but we can't ignore the players who he shipped. Odell Beckham and Jason Pierre-Paul, both which have won rings since moving on from the G-Men. The Odell trade was shocking at the time. JPP had been franchise tagged prior and kind of made sense, but neither trade made Gettleman popular. He traded up in the draft for DeAndre Baker. More on him later. He traded down last year away from Micah Parsons. Okay, his trades are 50-50 at best, but let's talk about his atrocious free agent signings. Traffic cone Nate Solder, 4 years, $62 million. 30-year-old running back Jonathan Stewart for 2 years, $6.8 million. Golden Tate, who was 31 at the time, to replace Odell on a 4-year deal. Kenny Golladay, 4 years, $72 million and 0 TDs. And Kyle Rudolph, who was more invisible than Evan Ingram's hands. Despite trading away popular players and bad free agent signings, nothing, and I mean nothing, can be worse than Gettleman's drafting. For a former scout to miss so badly, it makes you question your entire existence. Though fans loved it, drafting Saquon Barkley number 2 overall ended up being the wrong move. Yes, hindsight is 20/20, and despite him being sensational his first 2 years, the Giants missed out on Quentin Nelson, Bradley Chubb, Josh Allen, Vita Vea, Leighton Vander Esch, Minka Fitzpatrick, Tremaine Edmonds, and some guy named Lamar Jackson. Other running backs taken later were Sony Michel and Nick Chubb. The Giants also drafted Kyle Lauletta that year. That didn't work out. The next year, they took DeAndre Baker with the 30th overall pick. He lasted 1 year with the team and 2 years total in the NFL. Back to the Barkley decision, as that domino led to a lot of bad things. The Giants elected to stay with Manning in 2018 and again in 2019, where they hoped he would be able to teach his understudy like Alex Smith did Patrick Mahomes. That, of course, led to this.
Be out.
The New York Giants select Daniel.
Who is it?
Oh no! 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 They did not take Daniel Jones! Are you fucking kidding me?
Looking back, the pick wasn't that bad. The 2019 QB class was about as talent poor as you can think of outside of Kyler Murray, but the decision to draft Barkley the year before, when Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson existed, forced them into needing talent the next year when it just wasn't there. Daniel Jones has not been good. Yes, he has shown flashes of being an athletic player. Yes, he is better than Dwayne Haskins, who was taken in the same draft. But when you see how other QBs have transformed their teams, Jones has quite literally dropped the ball. And so with that, Gettleman showed no ability to get the Giants back on track, having the worst stretch in the NFL under his tenure, hiring absolute morons as head coaches. And after all that, instead of facing the gallows on the 50-yard line at MetLife, he was allowed to retire with dignity. To place the blame on one man is really unfair, but the downfall of the Giants sits mostly on Gettleman's shoulders. Of course, who fired Reese, Coughlin, and who hired Gettleman? Who ultimately takes the blame for all of the organization's missteps? How do we fix this? If there is a silver lining to all this losing, it's the fact that the Giants have some serious capital in the upcoming draft. They will pick at number 5 and number 7 with a total of 10 draft picks to spend. The Giants need a lot, and that falls on new GM Joe Shine, who was brought in from the outside, something out of character for John Mara. Credit to him for trying something different, unlike, say, other owners. Shine is looked at as a bright mind in the game, and after a sham interview with Brian Flores, brought in former Bills OC Brian Daboll as his head coach. Who knows if the truck-driving Daboll will be any good, but his development of Daniel Jones will surely decide whether the Giants' rebuild is a quick or protracted one. The Giants have some tough decisions to make. Do they cut or trade Barkley, who is nearing his option year? After this season, they have to make a decision on Jones. Lots of veterans are going to be cap casualties. Do they clean house with a full reset or try to pull a kitty goes meow like the Bengals? And I got news for you, Daniel Jones isn't Joe Burrow. These are all questions that need to be answered correctly. Otherwise, 5 years of atrocious losing could become 10. What the Giants need is less turnover from the coaching staff, less turnovers from Daniel Jones, proper scouting and drafting, and solid free agent signings. Then and only then can the Giants become the model organization they once were. What a pretty picture that would be. I think that's who the Giants should have taken, but I think they're gonna take. I think this is where Dwayne Haskins gets picked. I think it's.
Do you think they go after Josh Allen now?
They should, but
Josh Allen would be a huge get for the run.
Dude, if the Jaguars get like Josh Allen, oh my god,
They're probably gonna ruin him and turn it into hashtag Saxonville.
Yeah, it's true. Josh Allen. And then we take a quarterback with 17. Come on. We'll wait until Josh Herbert is out. We'll tank for another year for Trevor Lawrence. Come on. Pick is in. Like a winning combination right there. Thank you.
Does sound like a good combination.
Yeah. I would love that. What the fuck was that?
That was my dog. Or my mother's dog.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
What the hell? Oh my god! What? Oh my god! Dude! Did he have a deal with Dan Snyder? You've gone deathly silent! What the fuck? What? Keep the chat going, please. Oh, shit. Oh man. What the fuck? How you feeling about Gettleman now, Mr. 5 Points?
Did serve our nation in the armed forces and receive some type of metal plate in his fucking head? What the
I don't know.
fuck is
Because
going
people are
on?
idiots, that's why. Was Daniel Jones even projected to go that far?
He's not on anybody's fucking draft board at 6. They could have waited till 17, and now fucking. Nobody was talking about him as the 6th pick, alright? Fucking nobody wanted Daniel Jones at the 6th pick. It's fucking ridiculous. He's Dave Brown all fucking over again.
Dave Brown, that's a name, my friend. That is a name. Dude, if Dan Snyder throws a load at Jacksonville, I'm just gonna laugh hysterically again. Your reaction was priceless. I love it.
Yep.
Even the dog's laughing at the Giants. I think I laughed for about like 2 minutes straight.
It's so bad. I'm crying. Like, I'm crying on the inside. Like, there's just not enough weed and alcohol to correct this tonight. There's just not enough. So, I mean, we needed a quarterback.
I mean, I know you need a quarterback, but I don't know. I mean, he's gonna rest for like 3 years until Eli like dies. That's what's gonna happen.
He's gonna be like Davis Webb, right? All right, pick is in. I need to forget this. I need to erase this from my mind.
Josh Allen. It's gotta be Josh Allen.
Right. Yeah,
Like-
and they're gonna take Josh Allen next, of course, and he's gonna be a beast. And what are they gonna pick at 17? What are they gonna pick? Like,
Probably a wide receiver. I can really see wide receiver there because they're the Giants and they're fucking idiots. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna have to call my therapist here to make it through this section right now. Oh my gosh, everyone's derping. Everyone is derping. What are the fucking Giants gonna do? What are the Giants gonna do with this pick? What are these fucking assholes gonna do? What is this dickhead Dave Gettleman gonna do to me? Fucking ruining my life. 1,800 people, yeah. 1,800 people. Oh, there you go with the big. Oh, you're fucking digging in for the night. You're digging in. Please take Derek Brown. Please take Derek Brown. Who are the best? Derek Brown, Mekhi Becton. Oh, they'll probably take Becton. Yeah. If they're gonna
Maybe
take,
I'm getting ready for this.
but we need defense, man. We fucking need defense. Please take
No
Derek
shit, that's
Brown.
why you should have drafted Josh Allen last year.
Come on.
Then you could have had Tua.
Yep, you could have had. Yep, we'd have Tua.
Or you could have
and
had
all
Daniel
that shit.
Jones at 17.
Someone tell me
Or
when the
late
pick
first.
is in. I'm getting
No,
really
we've
nervous.
Please draft Justin Herbert.
I don't
Draft
know.
Justin Herbert. Draft Justin Herbert, please.
No, it's not happening. I will be selfishly happy if they take Auburn alumnus or former Auburn player Derek Brown. Still in commercial break. 2,000 people here to watch me get humiliated. Fuck all of you. Fuck y'all. No, I love you. Thank you for being here. Look at the chat is going crazy now. Still on the clock, still ticking. But I think, oh, the pick is in. Oh my God, here it comes. Here it comes, dude. Who's it
go.
gonna be?
Please be Justin Herbert. Please be Justin
They are
Herbert.
not
Please be
taking
Justin
Tom Flacco or Justin.
Be Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. Or actually, you know what? They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna pick Mike Mamula.
Pick is in. Pick is in. Isaiah Simmons? No. Who the fuck is Isaiah Simmons? We want
Did they
Herbert.
pick Isaiah Simmons?
No, they're fucking lying.
I thought Simmons was pretty good.
Come
He's
on,
like,
Derek Brown or Mekhi Becton. I'll take Mekhi Becton. I'll settle for that.
Oh, another tackle to flop and burn out like
Yeah,
I think
like
so.
Eric Flowers. Here it comes. Come on. Andrew Thomas. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is Andrew Thomas?
Andrew Thomas? What? You didn't even get Mekhi Becton. Give the guy's like, what the fuck? I gotta be here. This is like bullshit. Yes. That's why they came in here, man. For your Look at this. Exactly. I don't even have this face. It's from behind. It's way behind. Andrew Thomas. He should have had the copy.
He got up and left. He's gone. He's fucking gone.
God hate me.
But he came back.
Strength.
And he laughs again. Oh no! Oh my god! He's completely losing his shit! Oh
No shit, we're really good now because of this. This is reverse Jim, this is gonna happen.
Oh no! I'm so glad I got to see this live.
That was gonna become the frontside tackle for a decade. Andrew Thomas. I don't even know who Andrew Thomas is. I probably should.
Georgia. Holy shit! Yay! God damn it!
Alright, it's not. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Get the plunger!
He got the plunger.
Nice!
Dude, yes. Yes.
Oh my god! Derp, derp, derp.
That's how it always goes.
He came back, he's got the plunger.
Oh God!
He's got it!
Oh no!
I'm telling you, look how dirty this thing is.
Miami's
Disinfectant.
No, Miami's not. Miami isn't in yet.
Oh God.
Disinfecting this fucking thing. I hate all of you. It sticks. Look, it's actually stuck on there.
I'm still behind. I can't see the plunge. I need the plunge.
You gotta get it all the way on there, buddy. You gotta different.
Simpson, is that a plunger stuck on your head? Don't!
Here we are,
The only
guys.
other one was JOK.
Here we are. We're at the Giants. The 20th pick. Quiddy Pay, I think, could be the guy. I'd be happy with Quiddy Pay.
Hey, they
I
gotta
don't
go
think
edge. Quiddy
Yeah.
Pay or JOK?
I don't know. The pick is in, so we'll see who it is.
They gotta go edge. They have to go edge. 27.
Don't spoil this.
Did
Do
you-
not
did you
spoil.
really?
I'm not. Tree,
Did
do
you
not
really?
spoil it.
I am not spoiling it,
Okay.
motherfucker. I haven't touched a damn thing. He is going to the podium. I am reacting to the same time.
If they take Kadarius Toney, I'm gonna freaking.
With the 20th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Kadarius Toney. It was so perfect. I swear to God. Oh my God.
I got the wrong. I got coronavirus because I'm laughing so hard. What's the defense? I don't know what that is. Let's draft 4 wide receivers. Let's do it. Oh, Evan Ingram's a Pro Bowler. He'll be everything great if he does a different everything. Maybe Evan Ingram can catch. Oh, what's the 21st overall pick in the draft? The New York Giants select hands for Evan Ingram. Oh my God! Incredible!
A pick that you couldn't blow. Like, you couldn't mess that pick up. There was no way to mess that pick up, and they did. They did. They traded down all these motherfuckers in the draft. All these dudes. After 11. Let's list them off. Micah Parsons, Rashawn Slater, Alavera Tucker, Zaven Collins, Alex Leatherwood, Jalen Phillips, Jameer Day. I would take all of these. Kadarius Toney.
It's hilarious because you were flipping us like, dude, if I've been Kadarius Toney, I'm gonna flip the fuck out. That's so brilliant, man. It was so brilliant.
That was literally the one player that if they took him, I was gonna be like, no.
Oh, there we go.
$1 for you, you assholes. There. Are you happy now?
And the pick is in for the Colts, by the way.
Indianapolis Colts select Kwity Paye, defensive end,
Edge rusher. That should have been the Giants' pick. Have fun, motherfucker. He left the screen.
He's gone. He's completely gone. He's completely fucked off. Here. Hey, 5 points. I got something that'll help you fix your puncher problem.
Oh, that should go right up his asshole.